Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cornyco, but you can call me Corny, and I am here in my current new apartment, and I really wanted to share with you guys a few tips and a guide, I guess, on how to find an apartment here in Japan. First thing is, what is your budget? How much are you willing to spend? What kind of things are you looking for? Do you want an intercom, separated bathroom and toilet, 2 rooms or 1 room, a garden, a balcony, indoor outdoor facilities, a commute or not to work, living near a gym, near a supermarket, near a park? Do you have a pet? What is your purpose for finding a new apartment, and what are you willing to compromise and not compromise? When do you plan to move? Are you ready to move? The tip that I got from my Tokyo Fresh friends, they let me know that do not move during March or April time, because that's the start of the tax year and the start of when people go to new jobs and start school and whatever. So a lot of people are moving at that time, and it's so competitive, it's just more of a headache. Go outside of those dates. If you already have an apartment, check the lease and check how long you need to notify them before you can move out. Mine was about a month. I tried to coordinate the days so I wasn't losing out on a lot of money. I highly recommend to find places with apartments facing the south because there's more sunlight, it's cool in the summer and warm in the winter. The measurements are done in tatami mats and meters, I believe. A tatami mat measurement is about 1.8 meters by 0.9 meters. Tatami are traditional Japanese straw mats that they lay on the floor. It's made from a rush covered straw material, a type of flooring that is usually found in a typical old school Japanese apartment or house and need to be cleaned and maintained quite often. A lot of people don't put heavy items in a tatami room, so that's why it's usually the bedroom that's tatami, typically where a futon goes, not an actual full-size western bed. You might want to lay something over the tatami mat so you don't damage it. They are highly insulated, so when it comes to winter time you'll feel a little bit more warm. They're supposed to last apparently about 20 years, but if you get them wet also they get moldy. So I just think the upkeep and maintenance of tatami mats aren't worth it for me, so I always look for someone that has wooden flooring. If you don't mind maintaining a tatami mat, then you'll definitely find a lot more cheaper apartments here in Japan. They have codes such as 1K, which means 1 room and a kitchen, or 1LDK, which means 1 room, a living room, a dining room and a kitchen. The good thing about share houses, I think they're more flexible because they're usually furnished, so they're ready to move people in and out. For people who are looking for shared houses, you have Sakura house. There's no guarantor, you can use your credit card, and there is English consultation available too. You're more likely to find places that accept less than a year contract, which is great. My contract is 2 years, so I cannot leave. I am bound. I'm bound to this. For village house, you don't have to pay key money, no guarantor, half month's rent, and community cost. For this site especially, it's a 1-year contract. They can hire and lend you moving vans, sometimes for free. English support, no security deposit, no brokerage fees. However, I have been told that the locations are far away from bus stations or bus stops, so if you're willing to walk or ride a bike, then this might be an option for you. I've already made a video about living in a share house, so please take a look at that if you want more information on what it's like and what you can benefit and gain from living in a shared house. Like Real Estate Japan, I did use this website. The places were very new and beautiful, and they're a bit overpriced and expensive. If that is within your budget, then they have apartments and houses that are for rent and for sale. They have an English website. There is English support available. Gaijin has everything. It has jobs, which I've discussed in another video, but they also have accommodations to rent and shared houses and other available accommodations for foreigners. It's very foreigner friendly because that's what the website literally means. Gaijin, melting pot. You don't usually need a guarantor. You can use credit card. There's also Anpanman shop. Usually it's 0% key money. You don't need a guarantor. No security deposit. There are a lot of listings and a lot more listings in Japanese. Suumo's my number 1. I just feel like I found more of a variety, and I like the layout. Even though it was on Google Translate, it was very easy for me to understand and navigate around the website, and I feel like the filtering process was better, and I found a lot of cheap ass accommodations. It's one of the most used websites when it comes to finding places, accommodations in Japan, and buying as well. Next one is Lifefull Homes. Same kind of thing really. It's almost as good as Suumo, but for some reason Suumo has my heart. I don't know why. Things to bear in mind when you're looking for an apartment in Japan. Most of these websites in English. If you are looking to live in the countryside, you may be limited to what's available. Closer to the station is usually more expensive. People pay for convenience here, so the closer you are to, say, Shibuya station, your cost is going to be high. If you're looking for pet-friendly accommodations, the price will be higher. Of course, if you're looking for more space, the price will be higher. And for parking too. Depending on the age of the building, the higher you go up for the view, or if it's got a view, it's gonna cost more. Just like a penthouse, the community fee or the neighborhood association fee, watch out for that. It usually ranges from about 1,000 up to 5,000. I pay 5,000 for my community fee. What the hell am I paying for? I still don't know. Maybe to plant some flowers or take out the trash. I don't get it. Sometimes you just gotta cut your losses and say, okay. Key money is a pain in the arse and an extra fee that I feel is unnecessary. Yes, traditionally, it was to thank people for letting you rent out the apartment and getting the new key to your home, because that was a time where houses were in short supply. These days, why am I paying extra fees for giving you business? Little tips is to make a file. That's what I did, and I put literally a list of what they were offering, how many stars. I just ranked it. Not every single accommodation is going to be foreigner friendly. In Japan, a lot of people choose not to rent out to foreigners because of the language and communication barrier. And a long time ago, people used to dip out of Japan and abandon their apartments. And now I feel like there's been a stigma attached to us where there's not always trust there. Be prepared for rejection is what I'm saying. If you're married to a Japanese person, clear sailing. Don't be afraid to make bookings and go and visit these accommodations before you decide to put an offer in. When you finally decided on your apartment, you need to be quick in making that move because they go like that. And I've lost out on so many perfect apartments for me with good rent, price and location because I decided to wait a little and do a bit more browsing. Google the locations beforehand because that'll give you an idea of what your travel's gonna look like, what's in the area. I even did the Earth map and I walked myself around the area and I thought, oh, that's a cute little shop, that's a cute little store, oh my god, look at this. It kind of helped me decide if I actually wanted to go there, visit or not. You want to put an offer in and you've got it, great. What now? Usually this process takes for about a month. It could be quicker. Don't be afraid to make negotiations and remove things that you don't think are useful on your contract. I had something like a deodorization fee. Didn't know what it was. They said it was a cleaning fee. When I went to visit the apartment, it was spanking clean. I am gonna clean it anyway, so I don't need it to be cleaned twice. So I asked them to omit that and they did because there was no reason for it to be there. So don't be afraid to question and ask what these fees are. In fact, it's really important that you check your contract and you know what you're paying for because you could be paying for stupid little fees for no reason. Make sure you check your moving in costs because usually you have to put a down payment of 1 or 2 months rent prior, say about 40,000, which is like $400 per month. When you check the moving in fee, it's an extra 1,000. That's happened to me so many times where I'm like, this apartment is perfect, it's cute. And then I check down below and I'm like, what is going on? So be careful. Read everything, okay? Translate everything. Contracts usually renew after 2 years, so you have to pay another month's rent on top of the rent that you pay for 1 month when you renew your contract. Be aware of that because whatever your rent is, going double, okay? So once you're happy with the contract, you've agreed to the terms and conditions, you will need to provide ID, of course, and a bank account. I'd transfer the money to my landlord. A lot of places have the option of paying with credit card, which will be very useful too. Make sure you call up your billing, electricity, water, gas, organize the date that you're going to switch it off. See if they can transfer that to the new accommodation. Contact the post office, let them know that you're moving and they will forward your mail to your new address. They will keep forwarding your mail for 1 year and then after that the transition should be free. You have to contact your local city or ward office and let them know that you're moving so they can change your information on your Zairyu card, which is your residence card. Just register your change in the system. That's very important too. Notify your companies, of course, if you're working for different companies. There's some independent moving companies that I did find. I was looking for apartments closer to Tokyo and Yokohama too, so just know I have covered both areas. I'll list a few useful websites for moving. For instance, if you need a tiny little van and you don't have a lot of belongings, there are movers that are more friendly, like Yamato, Tokyo Gold Star Moving Services, Best Moving Service. If you don't have a budget, there's also Art Corporation, Sakai Moving Service, and Dekataku, which is the site that I use. They don't have an English support contact or website. I live alone in Japan, so for me, I just wanted to make the process as simple as possible, and I did fork out about 30,000, which is about $300. What they do is they price it depending on what items you have, like a table and chairs and seats. Luckily in my old apartment it was already furnished with most things like a bed and fridge and stuff like that, so I didn't have any extra costs, and that would have racked up to a lot more. But I did have my semi-double sofa bed, which made the cost a little bit higher. So for what I needed, it was great. But there are other package deals. They do provide you with the boxes. There is usually like a limit, but you can pay extra for extra boxes. Luckily mine was just enough, and I just went for the maximum. I'd always say go for as many boxes as possible, and they can always take them back later than too little. The vacuum sealed packs will be your friend. Put a note on everything, mark what room you want this to be in, what other items inside your boxes, try and pack them together, be orderly, so then when you're unpacking you know what's inside the box. Keep your markers, your pen, your sellotape, everything together in one little box so it's just easy to access when you're packing. What I did is also pack a little box of things that you may need instantly, like toilet roll, like certain food that I know I'm gonna eat. You can organize for everything to be turned on around the same time. Check out the moving in vlog. You'll see me go through the process of what it's like to move into my accommodation. Please remember to clean and restore the apartment back to its original state. Please help everyone out down below, guys. Let's share this information because we don't want to get screwed over. We just want to find a place that we like, okay? I've also got another tour of my old apartment, which was much smaller. I talk about little tips of what you can do with your tinier apartment. I've done a more high-end apartment, take a tour and show you what's available for the price range, so have a look at that too. And my apartment tour is soon to come, so stay tuned for that. Follow me on Instagram because I access the second channel over there, and subscribe for more useful and fun content to come. I'm rooting for you. I hope you find your dream accommodation. Until next time guys, Faito, Gambate, peace and love. Bye.